Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Noelle and I review and unbox subscription boxes here on my channel. And today I have a lovely box that was sent to me for review. It's called Birdmoss. It is unlike any other lifestyle box that I open here on the channel. It is poetry, it is creativity. It is not necessarily what you might term useful items. There is a narrative, there's a lot of magic and mystery, and so it's not a box for everyone, but for those where it is a good fit, it is such a marvelous fit because it is such a special experience every single month. The box is $45. I do have a code for you where you will save $10, but definitely check out the site just because there's all kinds of sign-up bonuses. It kind of changes from month to month. Sometimes you can get an extra little bundle or box, but do let Shannon, who is the owner of Birdmoss, know that I sent you if you decide to go that route. The code for that $10 off is Noel, N-O-E-L, but I'll leave all of that information for you in the description box below. This is the beautiful box. Now, I don't get too hung up on packaging these days because I know that shipping and packing supplies, and especially these full color printed boxes, are super duper expensive for subscriptions to do for us, but I do still appreciate the presentation of it. I just think that's really lovely. There's words. It says, "Walk your own desire line, leave the road when you must." And then when you open it up, we have the Gather Paper Pen Matches poem that kind of invites you into the box each month. We have beautiful tissue paper and a seal. It says, "As the days grow darker, you grow wiser." So let me just read the old description of the box. Birdmoss box subscribers say it's like getting a daydream in the mail. With each box, you'll receive works of art and self-care rituals that engage all of the senses to create an immersive, magical experience. Think of it as a package from a friend who cherishes your delightful heart and spirit. It does definitely sort of stoke creativity. There's often like a DIY element to it, or something that you can, like she said, create those self-care rituals. Sometimes there are some self-care items, like in the more traditional sense, like a bath bomb or a salve or a balm of some sort. It says, "Your boxes are accompanied by poetry and prose which tell of a gifted dreamer. You are that dreamer, and this is your story. Some letters and documents arrive inside your monthly box, and others are emailed to you." So we will open it up. So there's usually a card that tells us about the theme for the month with some intro on the back. And then there is a longer sort of parchment paper looking list of items. And again, they're all sort of revealed to us in the form of a narrative. So this month, the theme is the Thunderstorm, or catharsis, and we have this little salamander. I feel like you could collect all of these cards throughout the months, and it's almost like a deck of tarot cards. So let me read the back to you. Usually the summer air is balmy in Birdmoss, so it's this whole other like world, right? This year, the heat is oppressive and tempers are worn thin. In some cities, interlopers disturb the peace, interrupting everyone's sleep and disrupting the flow of food and goods. The stories tell of a bird, or perhaps a woman, who can awaken thunder and lightning. She can puncture the haze and release a long-awaited rain. A thunderstorm is a moment of catharsis. Atmospheric pressures are released, the soothing rain is spiked with thorns of lightning, an occasional flash renders the landscape harsh and pale. Then after the storm passes through, the leaves on the trees are left bedraggled, but rinsed clean, shiny and green. Yes, we know how wonderful it is. There's that like ominous, heavy feeling before the thunderstorm, and then when it comes, I always love thunderstorms, especially if I get to be indoors. I think they're sort of magical and wonderful and fun to be a part of. And then, yes, it is just so amazing once they're gone because everything feels fresh. You feel renewed. That oppressive heat is gone, at least for a little while. It's so wonderful. Oops. Drop that on the ground, but we don't need that anymore. And then we have, this is the parchment paper I was talking about, and you can see she's like annotated it with handwriting. So I try to go in order. It says, "Lift your face to drink." So I am seeing talk of, they mentioned, you know, that woman who can bring the thunderstorms, and there is a character that she introduced a couple of boxes ago called Storm Swift, I believe. So it's very fantasy. We're getting a little bit more intricate and detailed in the story. Like before, we were just sort of like visiting the different burrows of the different animals and creatures in the world of Birdmoss. But you know, this box has been around for a while, so she's had to start creating more like mythologies, and that's like kind of the interesting part about it. This box feels very literary to me. All right, so this is what it looks like. Here's all the things, and then there's usually like an item in here that's like a sneak peek for the future box. So I have to usually be pretty careful and make sure that I don't lose something. Like right here, we have a tag. Hold on, I'm about to lose this. We have a tag that says from the Foxes, but I'm not sure what it went to. I think it went to this little bag. I'm not totally sure. Ooh, that's fun. We get some jewelry pieces. It's very like, it feels like, I don't know, like a magician's lair. I think this was supposed to go, so we have these fun jewelry boxes, and I think this was supposed to be inside of it, but it did come opened. I'm just gonna put that back in there. Those are great for travel because it's almost like saran wrap for your jewelry, but it's like a specimen box where you can really see everything, but it does keep it airtight. So I usually try to not use things that can get punctured too badly. I wonder if this broke. I don't think it necessarily broke, but there is a piece of glass in here that was just rolling around, so I do get a little bit nervous sometimes. And then we have an envelope. Oh goodness, we have all kinds of things. And we have, let's see, ooh, there's like a QR code for like a sonic element this time. It says, there are other dreamers in other places. If you listen, you will hear them. If you pause, you will feel them. The other dreamers are waiting for you. Oh, I wonder if this is to the Facebook group, which is pretty active, and people often share what they do with their different items and how much they love the different boxes. And also, if you get a little bit lost in terms of the narrative, that's a good place to go hang out and be like, who's this character? Like, somebody catch me up. But sometimes if she does have past boxes available, you can order those, but for the most part, they sell out almost every month. All right, so it says, in this dream, you run across the water without wetting your feet. Ooh, we can walk on water. So it says there's an embarking bundle. All right, so I don't know. We have a couple of bundles. There's a range-harming salamander. There's a large raindrop. I'm wondering if that's this. So I really always have to like investigate what things are. Oh, okay, there's a rainwater vial, a banishing paper, I'm gonna guess, and then lightning from the desert. I'm thinking that's this. So I'm gonna have to open up this bundle that I think was, like I said, supposed to have that tag that said from the Foxes, who are characters of Birdmoss that we have met before. But I'll take a quick peek in that black bag as well. Oh yeah, so there's some herbs in there. I'll have to read the description to see. Let's see. Okay, I think I figured out what everything is. Let's read this little note along the side here. It says, in the moments right before you dip into deep sleep, you hear something like your name. Is that the call of a bird? A human voice? Maybe it's Storm Swift. So there's an embarking bundle from the Foxes, I believe. From the Foxes, you can see that lovely handwriting. It says, prepare to dream to Birdmoss by hanging this bundle in your shower or soaking it in your bath water. So let me give you a sneak peek. Can you guys see the herbs in there? There. So there's some herbs in there. It smells really good. It says the Foxes, who practice a kind of herbal alchemy, have sent this gift to prepare you for the work ahead. It contains frankincense to strengthen the connection between earthly and spiritual spaces, rose hips to support development and transformation, and white willow bark to welcome ancestral wisdom. These elements will guide you to Storm Swift. So this is that character. So really beautiful. It almost looks like gemstones in there. So yes, there is some like witchy herbal alchemy in here, but oh, it smells good. So I could definitely see hanging this in the shower, getting a little bit wet to get some of that nice steam going. Then, like I said, we have a rain-charming salamander, which is this jewelry piece right here. So that wasn't in the jewelry case. It says, Storm Swift says, I called you, now will you call the salamanders, and they'll call the rain. Hearing your voice, the salamanders emerge from their burrows. You spot one with a small stone sphere made of polished carnelian. That is the lapis mauinoel. Spinning it invigorates the coming storm. Wear this stone to summon energy, passion, and vigor. Look at this beautiful necklace with this salamander on it. And that carnelian, that's so cool. And I love that she gave us the pendant and a nice snaky kind of reptilian chain, and that it didn't just come by itself, and then it didn't just come on a cord, which I usually feel like, you know, sometimes it works with the jewelry design and sometimes I feel like it cheapens it a little bit. So this actually seems kind of elegant and also sort of along that sort of like crystal shop vibe, but I actually really like it. I think that's really pretty. So that is that's pretty cool. And then, you know, sometimes people are like doubt the value of this box, but I think that's actually a really nice jewelry piece. There's a lot of detail on that pendant there. Very cool. Very cool, Shannon. All right, then it says the midday darkness reminds you of an eclipse. So we did get a little picture of a salamander, and then that's what I just read to you right there. A large raindrop. Storm Swift takes to the sky in a chaos of wings. You are left on the ground surrounded by a dozen salamanders rolling their lapis manalis stones. Ooh, that would be ominous and scary. The air pressure begins to change and you hear thunder rumbling. Soon a few oversized raindrops land with soft pats. Then the thunderstorm begins in earnest. You can no longer see your surroundings clearly. The raindrops are crystal clear, but through them the world is rippled and upside down. Hang your raindrop in a window so you always have another perspective at hand. So we have a nice little raindrop prism to hang in the window, and I used to love having these hanging in my kitchen window. So another lovely piece. Actually, this box is turning out to be quite nice. All right, so that's a beautiful little piece as well. Then we have a rainwater vial. It says this water is by no means tame, but it is not a threat. You do not need to fear it. When Storm Swift returns, she gives you a small blown glass vial to collect a bit of rainwater. Look at this. It's so pretty. She uses thunderstorm water to anoint the salamanders on hot days so they can breathe easily through their dampened skin. Use your bottle to store your tiniest treasures, or gather thunderstorm water for quickening your bath water or newly sprouted plants. You'll only need a drop or two. So I think ostensibly it's a perfume bottle. This reminds me of the blown glass perfume bottles that I got in Egypt. Very, very beautiful, very, very delicate. Also a beautiful thing to gift to someone. But yes, you could definitely get some thunderstorm rainwater in there if you wanted to. You could also put some essential oils or your favorite perfume that you concoct yourself in there, your potions. But what a beautiful piece to include. So far, a necklace, a nice prism, a glass perfume bottle, and then we have this banishing paper. Look, it's got a little gecko on it, or I guess maybe that's supposed to be a salamander. So I'm going to get my letter opener out. It feels like I should have like a big fancy like silver golden blade that looks like a knife, but I just have my regular like office supply one. It feels like I should be wearing like a, you know, velvet cloak with this and reading this to you by candlelight. That's the kind of vibes of this box. So what is this? So it's just paper. We have several sheets of it. It says the thunderstorm is cooling the air and hydrating the salamanders, but some things still need to be righted. Storm Swift produces banishing paper so you can number the things that menace you, then wash them away. Picture your troubles sinking beneath glassy water. They are reduced to mineral components that can do no harm. They dissolve and disappear just like the paper. So debride the things that fester. So it's this really thin paper. I think we've got like 4 or 5 sheets, maybe 4, let's see. Very thin. So the idea is, 5 sheets. The idea is to write your worries down and then let it dissolve in water. I mean, you could probably even send it out into the ocean or just like in a, you know, a tub like under the moonlight or something. So I love that idea of instead of burning something, right, and letting it go in that way, letting it sort of dissipate in the water. That's kind of a cool ritual sort of idea, and it would also be kind of a fun thing to do with like little ones too. And then finally we have lightning from the desert. So this is one of those examples of an item where if you like collect your stones and little pieces of magic, then this would be really cool, but otherwise you might be like, what the heck is this? So this is, it says, you receive one more treasure, a piece of fulgurite, sometimes called petrified lightning. It's an irregularly shaped specimen which was created by lightning in the crystal desert. In a split second, the lightning strike melted the sand, which then cooled into a naturally formed glass tube. That's so cool. It says, in Birdmoss, the fulgurite is seen as an earthly manifestation of the spiritual, a reminder of the power of intention and belief. Contemplate it when you need to remember your own abilities. And then we have a little picture of a mushroom that says Vocatus fulmine. So you could hear it. It sounds like glass, right? Because you can hear the sound of it, and then it is hollow, like she said. So this is lightning striking into sand, and the glass itself is basically silica and sand. So you guys remember that Sweet Home Alabama where he was a glass blower and he does the same thing and he finds these like amazing glass pieces in the sand for more lightning strikes. Same idea. Same idea, a little bit different, right? But that is like one of those cool things that nature creates as that sand heats up and basically becomes solid. So solidified lightning, petrified lightning, as they say. And then there's one more handwritten quote down here. It says, "Mark all babies who have arrived in the last year with a buttery thumbprint to claim and welcome them. This prevents changelings from being retrieved after you have become attached to them." Interesting. I don't know what that is all about, but with a buttery thumb, I mean, they're good enough to eat. Now, this little matchbox is usually our preview of the next box, so let's take a look. It says, "Look inside for a glimpse of things to come." And we will slide it out. I love the little matchbox, and they're often a little charm like this. Oh, this one's interesting. It kind of seems like it might go a little bit with that ominous warning about children. It's a tooth, like a little tooth. I don't know if I can get that to focus for you guys. Come on, there we go. Tooth. All right, so we get like little animal charms like last month we got a lizard because we did have this like salamander theme going on with our thunderstorm, and then now we have this little tooth which just doesn't want to focus. I'm so sorry, you guys. Maybe I can get it to go. Come on. It's like, no, I want to focus on those pictures behind you. I don't want to focus on the tooth. Well, it's a little tooth. You can enlarge your screen to see it. There, it's focused when it's far away, but I'm not sure what that means. Maybe it's like a wisdom tooth? What do you guys think? What do you think? What do you think? Ooh, I like tricked it into being focused. Okay, so that was lovely. I mean, my favorites are definitely the perfume bottle, the prism, the raindrop, and I actually think this is kind of cool. It's a little like more like D&D magical wizard than what I would normally wear, but I just think it's kind of neat. It'd be great for like Halloween time, fall time, especially with that beautiful carnelian color. I hope you enjoyed this unboxing. Like I said, this box is not for everyone, but if you love this sort of element of imagination and story, then definitely consider it. And you can again save $10 using my code NOEL, Noel. Thank you so much for being here. I will see you very, very soon in my next unboxing. Oh, you guys, let's have a secret password. Let's have it be Prism. Now, I don't know if this actually refracts light like a prism, but it does sort of like distort things. So Prism, P-R-I-S-I-M, P-R-I-S-M, not an actual extra I there, sorry. So when you come across the secret password in one of my videos, you want to enter it along with your contact information in the Google form that is linked for you in the description box below. Please don't put it into the actual comments because then I have to delete it and it's not secret anymore. You have to be 18 years or older. You have to be subscribed to my channel, and you do have to have a US or Canadian mailing address. Canadians, I need a little help with the shipping if you are selected as a winner. Basically, about 5 days into the following month, I will use a random number picker to select a few winners to receive mystery boxes as my way of saying thank you so much for watching my videos. Let's see, it's not affiliated with YouTube or any of the boxes that I open here on the channel. It's just something we do so that I can share the wealth of all these amazing boxes that I get to review. All right, so secret password today, you got it. I'll accept the misspelling since I'm the one who did it, and I will see you all very, very soon in that next unboxing.